We do have a quorum, so we're going to get started. I think everybody's here except for Mr. Petcher is still ill and is excused.
I did speak to him prior to this meeting. Better, they still got terrible cough.
Yep. Thanks.
Even better.
Thanks, Mark. So I'll call the meeting to order. Again, everyone's here except for Mr. Petcher, who's been excused. And I'll look for a motion to approve the minutes from the November 13th meeting.
Move it.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried. You see the appointments there. They'll be on the agenda for the ledge meeting in a week or two. Other than that, we'll start with presentations with Carrie.
My committee report?
Sure. I'm sorry, I called it presentation.
We wanted the presentation.
Sure, but the only thing I have to add that's not in my report that I'm happy to share with you all was I was very fortunate to yesterday be asked to participate as a panelist and presenter at the State Farm Bureau's annual state conference out at Turning Stone, and we had a great turnout of farmers. I was there asked to talk about diversification in farming, particularly dipping your toe into agritourism and how that's related to land use and even looking at practice with your municipalities. My co-panelist was talking about the ag tax exemption side of things, just being more. Any questions on the report? It's a little bit lengthy.
I'm very interested in the countywide housing market study. For lots of reasons, I'm interested in housing. So I just wondered if you had any status or updates on that study.
The only update I have is that we are still trying to secure private funding for that from various sources. So Jenny Haynes and other members of the Micron Housing Committee has reached out to various foundations and organizations to secure the additional funding needed for us to complete that. And so we're still working on that. Our next committee meeting is actually this coming Monday afternoon.
Thank you.
And Carrie, I believe you have one resolutions,
Yes.
W4.
Yes, we have one resolution. This is an annual resolution for those that have been on the ledge for a little while. This is a resolution authorizing us to submit a grant application to New York DEC to recoup part of the funding that it cost us to run the household hazardous waste event and the e-waste recycling events this last year.
Motion for
Yeah, move
PPW.
it.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions? Otherwise, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried. Thank you. Okay. Next on the agenda is Kelly. Oh, you moved. I was like, okay.
I don't have a whole lot to share that's not in my report, but a couple of brief updates. First and foremost, we're really excited where our move is moving forward. Hopefully, if all goes well, we'll be into the new workforce development center by the end of January, pending some signatures at the state level. Otherwise, the building will be ready for us to move. So it's been a long time coming. Hopefully, we're going to have it by the end of the month. So that's definitely a step in the right direction. Our numbers are up. We have been seeing a lot more people coming in, not just mandated customers, but people coming in just, to use the services. One of the challenges we've been faced with is if you're collecting unemployment and you're trying to call to talk about your claim, there's been a 3 to 4 hour wait time. So we've had some very angry customers, had one today. So, that we're trying to kind of work through that challenge. It's frustrating because people are needing their benefits. And if you come in at 8:30, and the gentleman that came in at 8:30 this morning had a 7-minute wait time, he was done in 20 minutes, and then it was over a 3-hour wait time. And then they'll sit there and wait on the phone, very upset. So some of the things we're dealing with right now is, are things like that. And it's hard at the holiday time. Other than that, we've wrapped up our STEM events. We have one more coming and we will host that at the Workforce Development Center. We'll invite the legislature to come along and see kind of what those events were. And we were fortunate enough to utilize the funds through the Youth Bureau. So it'd be great if you could come and see the event that we brought to all of the schools, will be brought to the community and their families. So we are looking forward to that. Not going to do it until we're there, probably March or April. So I'll have more to come on that, but those are basically my highlights, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any legislators have any questions?
And I'm just curious, what the lag time getting through, is that just because there's so many people or what's going on there, you think?
From what I'm told, telephone claims center, because unemployment insurance used to be handled directly in the office. And years ago, they changed it from unemployment to reemployment. So in the local office, which is at the career center, we serve people that are looking for work. They may be on benefits, but that part has been removed. And we have a special line that we can put them on. They've done some upgrade in that telephone claim system, and that's what I'm hearing. I don't know if it's staffing shortages because everything is automated. To talk to a live person, they're probably short-staffed like everybody else facing their own challenges, and now the wait time. And it's creating frustration, anger, honestly,
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah,
Just curious.
yeah.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Lee.
You started the summer youth, I mean, the expansion, the ESS money coming in and.
Yes, yeah, we have. So that is the youth employment program, which is the extension of the summer youth program. I don't have the numbers with me. I think right now we probably have close to 30 enrolled, spending the money. The kids are working a lot, after school. Some of the kids that are high school dropouts and not in school, because we can go up to age 20, are working more hours than the kids that are in school. But it's going well. The work sites and employers are so happy because they love to have the kids in the summer and to have that all year round. And it's also offering a place for these kids to be after
Is it like a
school.
wage subsidy for them? Are they paying these individuals or this money is?
Yep, the county, so
The funding.
the
is paying
funding is paying them the minimum wage, hourly wage.
And the employer just gets the benefit of them and the experience that they get.
Yes,
How it works.
it does. So what we're trying to do is educate our work sites because in years past, I think that the employer perception is free help.
Yep.
And these kids are not going to take the place of somebody that's doing that job. So if an employer says, oh, this is great, free help, we're gonna, have so much, free time on our hands, you're actually signing up for something that's going to take a little bit more because you're mentoring those kids. And we had kids that were doing squirt gun fights with, squirt chemical bottles, right? So, and then we have to go down there and we're visiting them. So it isn't gonna make your life easy. It's going to make your life, and actually you take on a lot of our youth. And I'm happy to say that the county buildings and grounds has hired many of our youth participants, which is a huge success story. I think how many, he's putting on the spot.
I don't even know when,
Okay,
yeah, Gary might have had that, but I don't know where it is.
okay, so probably 5 or 6 of our youth have become actual permanent employees of Cayuga County. So, that's the ultimate goal, right? Is that we give them the skills, but also refine them because their models at home haven't necessarily been the greatest, and also they're not in school anymore. So we're giving them the holistic approach to being successful, and it's going well. I'm so happy about it.
Thank you. Any other legislators have any questions for Kelly? Otherwise, thank you very much, Kelly. Doug?
Right. Good evening, everybody. Other than the report, one of the things I want to highlight, we're working with the planning department on the Tree to Tree program. So for those of you guys that might not know what that is, so after Christmas, if you have a live tree, you can take it to our office. We'll grind it up, use that mulch on a project or use it in our filter socks. And then we'll give you a coupon for a free, this year it's going to be a balsam fir. We try and change from year to year. And then come our tree sale, which is I think May 9th this year. Trade that coupon in, you get a free seed and you go plant it. So that news just came out through a press release. So look forward to that. And December 26th, trees start showing up. Sometimes it's free ornaments. I don't know. I can bring it in. So we'll get that. And then really the ag value assessments is the season when everybody for their ag value, more or less going to give tax breaks on their ag land. So we start to process those. It's our only unfunded state mandate that has come to us. So we'll get busy about that time. So other than that, you guys got the report.
Any questions from legislators for Mr. Kears? Yes, thank you very much. Dan, good evening.
Good evening. So just want to highlight a couple things that actually weren't in the report. Or maybe were in there. One of them, we did a solar workshop for about 40 people in the second week of November. Solar and agriculture for things that both or that farmers, communities, and municipalities need to think about when solar is being sited on farmland. And some of the considerations, I know some of the other committees have had some discussion around some of these conversions and what that means in terms of ag assessment and all that. So we had some folks from Cornell come and speak. We had an attorney out from Western New York. They're talking about what farmers need to look at in leases and the importance of having an attorney look at that. And then coming up here before the end of the month, working with colleagues at the Food Science Department and with Kelly's team, we're having a dairy processing boot camp, which will be 2 days. And the idea is to give folks an introduction to what it might be like to work in a dairy processing facility. And one here is designed specifically so that graduates of that program would be employable at CMI once their expansion is complete. Happy to take any questions.
Any legislators have any questions? Otherwise, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are you starting to move into your
Oh, yeah.
digs also?
Yeah, we'll be moving sometime in January as well. We're not sure exactly how the sequence of all that's gonna go, but yeah, not looking forward to the actual moving part, but once we're back in our space, that'll be a good thing for us.
Great. Oh, Karen Cool is out of town. Is there someone on? Is she on? Or? Otherwise, you have her report.
I think she's actually traveling.
Yeah, I know she said that and I didn't know if she was on or not. So otherwise you have Karen's report and we'll move right along. I don't see Carl here. Oh, Kyle would be weights and measures. Kyle on. Otherwise you have his report and it's moving right along to Tony.
All right, good evening, everybody. So you have my updates. That's pretty much what I have. I don't have anything to add to that, but I do have 2 resolutions tonight. PPW 1, authorizing to fill 1 working foreman position at Cayuga County Buildings and Grounds Department. So Ed Everhart will be retiring at the end of the month. He is my working foreperson downtown. He's a critical part of my department, and he manages a lot of the fire life and safety systems, the HVAC systems. Plus he, helps direct with the rest of the reports there coming down. That's PPW 1. PPW.
Motion for PPW 1.
Yeah, second.
Second, discussion.
This is a budgeted position.
Yes. So my question was, Tony, have you advertised a position already and is there people in line or
I have 1 applicant and it's a in-house applicant.
they have the qualifications and stuff?
They do have the qualifications. I have an interview set up with this candidate Monday.
Because I know Ed had a pretty good HVAC background
He
and
did. I don't believe I will be able to replace, from my experience, I don't believe I will be able to replace his experience with the money that we're offering for that position.
right. Yep. So Any other questions? Otherwise, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried. Thank you, Pete. But
Moving on to PPW2, authorizing the chair of the Cayuga County Legislature and the Cayuga County Sheriff to enter into a contract between Bellows Construction Specialties LLC to replace 2 exterior steel pedestrian doors at the Cayuga County Public Safety Building. So these are 2 exterior doors. The frames are rotten from salt. They're, original doors to the building.
motion,
Move it.
Second.
questions? Money's in this year's budget for it then, right? Okay. Any
In
other
the
questions?
sheriff's,
What's that?
it's in the sheriff's
Sheriff's
jail
budget,
building
right.
maintenance budget.
Yep. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried. Thank you. Anything else? Any legislators have any other questions for Tony? Otherwise, thank you very much. Ryan, how are we doing? Next, right? Who am I missing? Doug? Oh, yeah, there he is. I'm sorry. I was trying to move you up. I keep trying to move you up.
I don't have to go.
Just so used to the work.
You passed the test.
There's a lot of updates in there on projects that are ongoing, both here within the park and then here also at the museum and also at the Sterling Nature Center. A lot of those are just updates on ongoings. Other than that, the only other additional stuff that's probably not represented in there, Doug Kear's crew is actually out right now on the Auburn Fleming Trail, so you'll see some work going on there, just doing some clearing. That's not represented on here. Other than that, I don't have anything specific to add to my report, but there are 2 resolutions.
Yep.
Also.
Let's get through the 2 resolutions and we'll have the other discussion also.
Sure.
Okay, so people,
DPW 5 was actually just put through today. We've been waiting on information from design firms. It's to authorize an agreement to complete design and construction documentation for the rehabilitation of the entrance, some drop off and main parking lot at Emerson Park.
so,
This is at Merry-Go-Round Theater,
pardon me,
at Merry-Go-Round Theater.
That's the main park entrance.
right here, right across the street.
Yeah.
Off in front of it. Yep.
So, do I have a motion for discussion?
Motion.
Second.
Second?
Second.
Okay. So does everybody have this resolution in front of them or not?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, good. So basically, the money's in the budget this year. Not to exceed 69,000, right?
Correct.
And you already got the bids in and everything, and it's falls in within the,
Yes,
Budget.
we have 2. We're still waiting on a 3rd, but that is the amount of money that we have to expend out of the budget. So
so you haven't opened the bids yet.
we haven't, they're all, it wasn't an RFP because it's less than 75,000. So we have 2, proposals in right now. And the 3rd was promised to us this week at this point. So we're just awaiting the 3rd one. That this predicates on, we have in next year's budget funds to do some of these projects. So obviously we'd like to expend this year's professional services money on design so that the following year, 2025 money, 100% goes to construction and there is a design taken from the funds.
Okay. Any other questions on it? Go ahead.
Yeah, so was this budgeted
For this year.
for this year? Nothing was, wasn't budgeted for 25 and we're moving it up into 20, correct?
Correct. It's professional services dollars from the 2024 budget.
All right.
Yes.
Any questions from legislators? Otherwise, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried. Okay,
So PPW 6 is authorizing a contract between the Cayuga County Parks and Trails Department and Cayuga County for the continued use of ARPA funds toward Emerson Park's revitalization projects.
motion?
Move it.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other further questions from legislators for Doug? Otherwise, last but not least, Ryan Soper.
I did not have a report, I missed the deadline, I apologize, but November's not an exciting month. So we were, basically, all we do in November is all training and plowing, so that's pretty much what we've been at this month. And I do have the resolution.
Yep. PPW 3.
Do you have a copy of it yet?
Yeah,
Why did you get version 3?
first one,
It's
I
version,
don't,
it's revision 3 at this point.
I have revision
I
two.
don't, I don't have
I can look
three.
it up on my phone.
Yes.
it's basically the same as,
It's the same, we just had to
Is-
add in the line for entering into a contract between the highway and the county.
right.
To secure funds.
So it's basically the same resolution as Doug just had with Parks, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Or is it
I can read it to you. I just-
yeah, okay. Make sure it's,
So whereas the American Rescue Plan has allocated funds county in order to help recover COVID-19, which includes authorization to spend these funds on government services. Whereas the county has been allocated $14,873,990 through ARPA, which a portion of these funds can be used for infrastructure improvements. Whereas the Phillips Road Bridge is in dire need of reconstruction, whereas the county has also been awarded 2 Bridge New York projects and are in need of local match funding. Now therefore be it resolved, the county legislature approves the use of ARPA funds to cover the costs of above projects. And be it further, the remaining restricted ARPA funds, approximately 1.2 million, that must be used on specifically qualifying projects are transferred to the following accounts to proceed with the above projects. Then as the account numbers and then Cayuga County purchasing policy shall be followed for above projects, which may require RFPs, bids, quotes, and other contracts to follow the county contract policy requiring approval by the Cayuga County Legislature, signature of the chair of the legislature, and be it further resolved that the additional costs of above projects are greater than the amount of ARPA funds transferred. The remaining funds will be transferred to the highway, from the highway, road and bridge reserve to complete the projects. That be further resolved, the Cayuga County Highway Department is authorized to enter into a contract with Cayuga County in order to commit the restricted ARPA funds by 12/31/24. And be it further resolved, the Finance Department is authorized to make journal entries necessary to implement the intention of this resolution.
okay, got a motion and a second. Any questions? Everybody clear on it?
Not, you gotta move it.
Second,
This, if I'm not mistaken, is the action that has to be taken by the end of this year to dedicate what's ever remaining in those restricted funds.
Correct.
Or we lose them. Okay. And this is the project that qualifies by eligibility for meeting.
Yes.
All in favor? Aye.
aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried. Any other questions for Brian while he's here from legislators? Otherwise, if there's no further business,
Make a motion.
motion to adjourn.
Second.
No discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much. I say have a.
Yeah, he's up here.
All right, so just do it. I'll call the, as the co-chair, I'll call the government operations meeting to order. Vice chair, excuse me, and,
Here comes the chair.
oh, good,
Sorry. I thought it, who? That was quick, was he?
yes. I was getting a lot of pressure. Let's go, let's go.
At least was waiting for the anthem. You did the anthem?
I did not do the
The
anthem.
pledge, all
I
right.
didn't do the anthem.
Call the pledge of allegiance, not the
Yeah,
anthem.
the pledge, I know.
The anthem.
Well,
as
you know
we
what,
say.
Mark's gonna sing the anthem.
On the committee.
You know?
Look, I sound like somebody choking two chickens.
All right, what's that for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Oh. I apologize for my tardiness. I'd like to start off with a roll call. Legislator Daley,
Here,
Legislator Che. Here. Legislator Strong.
Yes.
And Legislator Vitale. Here. Okay, I want to approve the minutes on November 13th, 2024.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any appointments? There's no appointments. And is Marlo or Batman here?
online.
On the board.
Online?
Keith is up, way up on top.
Yes, yeah, I'm here.
How you doing, Keith?
I'm well. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, so we don't have anything, it's a short report because it's a short month. And of course, I talked about the election the last month. So unless there are any questions, we don't have any resolutions, and I really don't have any much to add. We're wrapping up the elections now. I should add this, we thought we might have to do a recount in the 7th Judicial District, which would have been every single voter in Cayuga County. But that's not going to happen because the margin of that race turned out to be within the allowable margin. So we're wrapping up.
Who actually won, Keith?
The Aaron Skinner
Okay.
was the second one. The first, it was a two-person race, and the first one was not. And I don't even remember that person's name. They won by quite a lot, and then Aaron Skinner and Ed White were the next two people, and that was very close. A few thousand votes out of almost 1.2 million cast in the whole district. So, but Aaron Skinner ended up winning.
Okay, all right, thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
Sheila,
Yeah, I'm here. Just want to let you know, legislative reorganization meeting will be held Tuesday, January 2nd, 4 p.m. at Ward O'Hare Agricultural Museum. Other than that, I do have 3 resolutions.
you want to do them now? You want to do them now, Sheila?
Sure, that'd be great. Okay, the first one is designating December 12th, 2024 as the date to annex the tax warrant.
Can I get a motion?
Move it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is where I mess up. I never say the rest of it.
Your bundle is next to.
Yeah, do you want to bundle, get a motion to all in favor? You said we all said yes?
Yes.
Okay,
Do you want to
I
bundle
should-
GO2 and GO3?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. One is designating the newspapers for the county matters for 2025. And the other one is to fix the date, time, and place of the meeting to organize the Cayuga County Legislature.
I'll move them. I'll second it as a bundle.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Thank you.
okay. And we got Brad with no updates, right?
Do you have any questions? This part?
I do not.
Okay, thank you.
Scan. Brian Scanlon. Any updates or anything?
So, yes, sure. I do have one resolution, if that's a second. DMV retention, year to date, we are at 500, just shy of 535,000. Whereas last year, for the entire year, that doesn't include obviously month of December. Last year, for the entire year, 2023, we're at 543,000, so we're about $9,000 short where we were at the end of last year with 1 month to go. So we usually bring in about in the 30s to 40,000, so we're gonna have to make more money than we did last year. So that trend's heading in the right direction.
I'm sorry, Brian, did you say DMV?
Yeah, that's just the MD.
Okay.
Yeah. Whereas back in 2020, it's been sitting at that 550 mark for the last 4 years. We're probably gonna be in that 580, 590. My predecessor targeted about 630 for revenue, so we're gonna fall short of what the target was, but we have an upward trend. Any questions on that DMV part?
If I can, Brian.
Sure.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, there's been an upgrade or a raise in the amount that the county gets from 3 to 10%. Is that correct?
For in office, correct.
In office. And is that,
I'm sorry.
That's the same online.
Online as well.
Yep.
and is that currently yes, it's currently being done now. There's another, you're collecting 10% instead of the 3%, correct? Okay, thank you for that.
Brian, I do have a question. But, I see these, being a car business, I don't really know the DMV, but is there like a small fee for the weight of the vehicles or something? I know we don't charge it in our county, but I see other counties charge like something for like, I don't know, I'll look up into it. Are you familiar? It's like a 15 to $35 charge.
Yeah, so what you're speaking about, I believe, is a vehicle use fee.
Yeah, a vehicle use fee.
Fee that county DMVs are entitled to vote. It's obviously a decision of the legislative body. But it's a fee, and I think it could be anywhere from about $5 a vehicle up to upwards of $20 a vehicle, and depends on vehicle weight. I think it's around 35 pounds, so suggest that. I know other counties do it, and they bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Is that something you can explore for us to see if that's something that's feasible for this county?
This has been a topic of discussion in several of our conferences.
Oh, cool.
So that piqued my interest. I have started looking into it already. So I'd be happy to really dive in and get you guys some more information.
This would be a way to increase the revenue coming in.
Absolutely. The fee would be on people that have the vehicles, so they're the one paying that. It's not like a tax to everybody.
And no sharing with the state. It keeps the local.
Everything stays in the county, all revenues in the county. And it would, this is also, so I say it's not like a tax on our constituents, it's on anybody that utilize our DMP. So we get a lot of traffic on Cayuga County, Seneca County. We get people coming over that utilize us, so we have to take money from that as well.
Okay.
Brian, would this be an annual fee or a one-time fee? You want to be able to?
Great question. So it's a one-time fee whenever they register the vehicle. So vehicle
First time
registration.
registration, not each time a vehicle can be registered.
I'd have to look into that, but I think it's on the renewals as well.
Oh.
So it's as you know, we renew our registration every 2 years,
Right.
so. I'll definitely get that information for you.
Thank you.
Hey, any questions for Brian anymore?
That was for the DMD, so just touching on the clerk's office. Dollar-wise, we're on track to where we have been and where we anticipated. I don't have those exact numbers in front of me for the end of November because it's so close to the end of the month, or so close to the beginning of the month. We're still processing that. But at the end of October, we're about $900,000 paid off February. We brought in we're on average about $100,000 a month, give or take. So that's where we're typically at. Last thing was my resolution.
Yeah, we can do it now.
Resolution. I just had a reservation in my clerk's office where my my staff in there, I have 3 index and recording clerks, 2 senior clerks. I had an index recording clerk that served 14 years, very dedicated service, that stepped down, took another position within the state, which was a career goal for him. So it's good for him, bad for us because we lost a lot of institutional knowledge there. So I'm down to 2 index recording clerks, and I have enough work for 4 or 5 of them. So I'm just asking if this will be replaced at this time, so we can work that we had.
Make a motion.
Yeah, I'll second. Yeah, all in favor? Aye. Okay,
Thank you. Any other questions?
no, no more. Tom?
Good evening. So you have my report. The only thing that I did want to highlight was kind of the status of 63 Genesee Street. So, I actually had a meeting there today with the landlord and electrician. We kind of finalized a few things. One most importantly being like core drilling, where that's going to be taking place, because once we identify that, that's going to allow our cable vendor to get in and begin to work on the network infrastructure and all of that. So I have our cable vendor scheduled to begin on the 17th of December to begin work that day. And as far as the entire project goes, I've talked a little bit with the chair. I'm going to kind of be the day-to-day point person between the landlord and the county. And I'll be working with the chair and obviously our operations team to keep everybody abreast of what's going on. But I just wanted to give you an update as far as kind of where we stand today. And, you know, we were able to obviously cut the PO to our cable vendor and get that process underway, and also the hardware, all the hardware for DSS staff in the space as well.
Can I ask him a question?
Yes.
Getting the cable,
Sorry.
getting the cable vendor, or getting the cable and the drilling and all that's essential.
Oh, yes.
What do you see that in terms of months?
Crazy.
Yep. So that was part of like the RFQ process that we went through with the 3 vendors. So that was obviously a huge component to kind of looking at all of that. So the estimated timeline is 8 to 12 weeks for that work, which was the best timeline we got out of all 3 vendors that we surveyed. So that was huge for us, and they're also, you know, cheaper as well to do the entire project. So we were happy with the vendor. We've done work with them in the past. They did the whole cable installation at the public safety building for us last year, which went extremely well.
Once they do their thing, you guys do your thing? Is
So
that
once
how it
they
works?
do, so they can work alongside the electrician. They can kind of do their work together. And then once that's in, the furniture can kind of happen at the same time as well. And then we come behind them with IT, just like, you know, our computer setup, Wi-Fi, printers, things like that. Yep.
You mentioned core drilling.
Mhm.
Now, is there a specific reason for the core drilling other than just to run the cable, or are they doing testing on it?
It's just concrete. So basically we just have to get holes in the ground so that we can go up with our electrical and data.
So it's just to run the cables?
That's exactly right.
Okay, that's what I was concerned about.
Yep.
Thank you.
Of course.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Kevin,
Was on.
you're on mute, Kevin.
Kevin, you're on mute.
He's poking around there.
Oh, he's driving too. Good Lord.
I think he's still, I don't see no trees moving, that tree is.
Well, let's hope he's not upside down.
Let's hope we can find the mute.
All right, let me just try this.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, no picture, but I don't know if the pictures work or not. And my wife broke her ankle, so I'm out at horseback riding lessons with my daughter. So we got my report, and really nothing significant beyond that. Obviously, November was a pretty busy month with Veterans Day, and we're closing out some things for the year with veterans and their activities. But pending any questions, that's really what we're doing.
Any questions for Kevin?
Nope.
Thank you, and wish your wife the best luck, Kevin.
She's getting around.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, with a motion to close.
Move it to,
Good year.
yeah.
Yep.
I'm off a little bit today.
Move it all adjourn.
Okay.
All in favor?
Out. In my